Imagine this on your first day at a new school. You get late and the teacher accuses you of making out with a friend. Sounds ridiculous, right? Chapter 1 of Melody SPOV. Currently I am at one of my concerts. I am busy singing on stage. This is probably the last song I will sing for tonight. I love singing. It's one of my greatest passions. The only problem is that I live a double life like Hannah Montana. Anyway, let's get on with this concert. She just wants to be beautiful. She goes unnoticed. She knows no limits. She craves attention. She praises an image. She prays to be sculpted by the sculptor. Oh, she don't see the light that's shining. Deeper than the eyes can find it. Maybe we have made her blind. So she tries to cover up her pain and cut her woes away. Caught cover girls don't cry after their face is made. But there's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You should know you're beautiful just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No scars to your beautiful. We're stars and we're beautiful. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No scars to your beautiful. We're stars and we're beautiful. She has dreams to be an envy. So she's starving, you know. Cover girls eat nothing. She says beauty is pain and there's beauty in everything with a little bit of hunger. I could go a little while longer. She fades away. She don't see her perfect. She don't understand she's worth it. Or that beauty goes deeper than the surface. So to all the girls that's hurting. Let me be your mirror. Help you see a little bit clearer the light that shines within. There's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You should know you're beautiful just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No scars to your beautiful. We're stars and we're beautiful. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No scars to your beautiful. We're stars and we're beautiful. No better you than the you that you are. No better you than the you that you are. No better life we're living. No better life than the life we're living. No better time for your shine. You're a star. No better time for your shine. You're a star. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful and there's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You should know you're beautiful just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No scars to your beautiful. We're stars and we're beautiful. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No scars to your beautiful. We're stars and we're beautiful. Good night, New York. I screamed, my voice echoing through the packed arena. You guys are an awesome audience, I said before strutting off stage. The adrenaline from my performance still coursing through my veins. As I made my way backstage, reality hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm totally dead once I get home. I checked the time on my phone, 1:39 a.m. Yet my brothers are so gonna kill me, especially since I have school tomorrow. I'm so dead. They won't kill us. They love us way too much. Viola, my inner wolf, chimed in optimistically. Oh, zip it, Viola. I need to get to my car, I retorted, rolling my eyes as I navigated through the throng of crew members and security guards. Let me introduce myself. I'm Melody, an 18-year-old werewolf with a successful singing career and a penchant for rebellion. I live with my two older, overprotective brothers, Ashton and Mason, along with 8 equally overprotective cousins. Did I mention they're all guys? So yeah, I'm the only girl in a house full of 10 male werewolves. Yay, note my sarcasm. Mel, please tell me you are on your way home. As a chest's authoritative voice rang through our mind link. Speaking of the devil, just about to get into the car, I replied, climbing into my sleek black Ferrari with tinted windows. You'll probably be home in 10, Ash. Make that 5. With your driving. Mason chimed in, his mental voice laced with a smirk. I laughed, feeling a rush of affection for my brothers despite their overbearing nature. Hey Mason, it's not my fault my cousin is a street racer who taught me a few tricks. I mind-linked back, my own smirk playing on my lips. I revved the engine, the powerful machine purring to life. and sped off towards our PAX territory. Skip car ride, I pulled up in front of our sprawling mansion, killed the engine, and grabbed my bag. As I unlocked the front door, I was greeted by the sight of my brothers, arms crossed over their chest, looking less than pleased. I yanked off my blue wig, tossing it onto the nearby couch, and met their stern gazes with an innocent smile. "Mel, you know you need to be home after 12 am if you're doing a concert," Ash began, his alpha authority seeping into his tone. I waved my hands dismissively. I know. I kinda lost track of time. I smiled sheepishly, hoping to diffuse the tension. Mason let out a sigh, his caring nature winning over his frustration. "Just go to bed. You need some sleep. Your senior year starts tomorrow." "I have to go tomorrow." I groaned. The reality of school hitting me hard. "Yes, you do, Mel. You, Mel." Ashton replied firmly. "It's your own fault if you're tired tomorrow. But even if you're already successful, you still need an education." I nodded, knowing there was no point in arguing. I kissed them both on the cheek and trudged upstairs to my room. Exhausted, I flopped onto my bed, feeling the day's events catch up with me. "You would be," Viola commented sympathetically. I shut her out and forced myself to change into pajamas before crawling under the covers. As soon as my head hit the pillow, I was out like a light, with one last thought flickering through my mind. One more year at the hole. High school. Can't wait. At least there's only 1 year left. Hopefully, the year ends as soon as it started. Chapter to Melody SPOV. I woke up to the annoying beeping of my alarm clock. I hit the clock to stop the beeping. What an annoying sound to hear so early in the morning. I threw my duvet over my head and dozed off again. Couple of seconds or maybe minutes later, Mason shouted from downstairs. "Mel, get up, you don't want to be late for the first day of senior year. Especially since you're the new girl." I let out an over-exaggerated sigh. I replied with a simple fine. I rubbed my sleepy eyes, then checked the clock to see it was 700 am. I have 1 hour and 30 minutes before school starts. Yay, note my sarcasm. I jumped out of bed and ran into the bathroom. Yes, I have a bathroom connected to my room. I quickly took a shower, ran into my walk-in closet with my towel wrapped tightly around me. I threw some clothes on and put on basic makeup. My outfit consisted of a white shirt tucked into a floral skirt, with a short light blue denim jacket. I added a thick belt around my waist and a necklace. I grabbed my school bag and slung it over my shoulder. My makeup consisted of a light pink lipstick and some eyeliner. That's it. Like I said, basic makeup. I'm not a fan of looking like a fake Barbie doll, like most of the school's sluts and queen bitches. That's a very accurate comparison. After putting on my makeup, I ran downstairs. It's now 8:10 am. I have 20 minutes to get to school. I go straight into the kitchen to find my brothers and cousins. They say good morning in unison with very chirpy voices. I roll my eyes. I simply give them the look that says. They just start laughing. They know I'm not a morning person like at all. If I open my mouth, they would probably be 6 feet under. I grab apple and breakfast bar. I say bye to my bros and cousins. I kiss them all on the cheek and got into my car. It's not like all my other cars. It's a car that will blend in with everyone else a lot easier, so that I'm not noticed as much. I prefer to blend in at school and make a noise on stage. I got into my cherry red BMW i640. I quickly race off to school. I got there in half the time it would normally take, thanks to my awesome driving skills, which I definitely inherited from Xander. He's a street racer who taught me a few things. Skip car ride, I left at school and quickly found my way around my new school. I went to the office to get my class schedule and locker number. On my way to my locker, guys started giving me looks and girls glared. I just flipped my hair, held my head up high and strutted over to my locker. When I finally find my locker, I see my best friend, Chris, leaning against my locker. He sees me and smiles. A genuine smile. Not a fake one like the ones I have been receiving from the people at this hellhole. When I reach him, he instantly hugs me. I hug him back, of course. I mean, he is my best friend. After our hug, he puts out his hand, silently asking me for my class schedule. I roll my eyes but hand it to him. He checks his and mine. He chuckles. I just give him a confused look. Then he says, "Great, I don't need to make any new friends 'cause you're in all my classes." I smile up at him. We link arms and try and find our first class. We're probably going to get lost very quickly. Anyway, let my last year of hell finally begin. Ugh, if you were wondering, Chris is a werewolf. My new high school is just for werewolves. There are about 3 to 5 different packs at this school. Probably should have listened when Ish told me about my new school. Anyway, not like it matters now. Apparently the school is on shared land so that packs can socialize with members of other packs. So that teens don't feel they have to socialize with those in our own pack. My brothers prefer I go to a school just for us because then we can be ourselves. We don't need to hide our strength and speed as we are all werewolves. The only humans around here are the ones born into a werewolf family, but they know about our world, so it's chilled. The bell rings, signaling time for class. I sigh and head to my first subject. Advanced math, yay. Note the sarcasm. Someone remind me why I took advanced math in the first place. Oh, I remember Ash made me. I had no choice in the matter. His reasoning, and I quote, "Mel, you get 1 for maths, challenge yourself a little. Plus you'll be like me who got 1 even advanced maths." He said, dusting imaginary dust off of his shoulder. All I did was roll my oh so pretty eyes at my stupid older brother. Sometimes I wonder if he really is older than me or if it's the other way around. Anyway, back to school. Let's go find this class and get the day over with. It only started and it feels like it's dragging on forever. Has anybody realized that I'm extremely dramatic yet? Chris always complains about it. I shake my head and put a smile in my face. 1 day of school, how many more to go? Anyone know? Seriously, does anyone know, just so I can count down the days till freedom? Chapter 3, Melody SPOV. Chris and I walk around the school trying to find our math class. Then we heard the final bell. Great, we're going to be late for our first class. I mutter, but I see someone. I go to the person and say, "You're M. Sorry, could you please tell me where Mr. Rivers' advanced math class is?" The guy looks at me tentatively, then says, "Let me guess, from Lakewood." I nod. He sighs. "Go straight down this passage, then turn right. It's the first classroom you'll see." Then he walks on. What a nice guy. Anyone notice my sarcasm? We follow his directions and eventually get to class. Only one massive problem, we're 10 minutes late for our first class. Great. I bite my bottom lip. Chris sees my facial expression and tries to tell me we're not gonna get into trouble. Keyword tries. He obviously failed. I mean, how can I be okay when we're 10 minutes late? I really don't want a detention on my first day at this hellhole. He knocks on the door and we walk in. Mr. River looks at us and says, "Melody and Chris, right?" I croaked out a quiet yes. The girls are giving me death glares. Like, why? What did I do to you? Then it hits me. They can't possibly think. My thoughts were interrupted by Mr. River. "I don't know how it worked at your old school, but here you will be on time for my class. Always. But 2 of you can find another time to suck each other's faces." I stare blankly at him. I am so tempted to laugh in his face right now. I mind link Chris. He thinks we were, interrupts Chris. I look at Mr. River and say, "Excuse me, sir, but just because the students at this school normally come late to class for that reason does not mean it's the reason we're late. We're new here and don't know our way around. Plus, I would never make out with him," I say, pointing to Chris. "He's my best friend, nothing more." Mr. River looks taken back by my sudden outburst and says, "Just find your designated seats and don't be late for my class again." After he said that, he continued teaching the class. I smirked because I had enough guts to put the old man in his place, then zoned out of the entire lesson. I was thinking about why I had come to this dumb high school in the first place. Time for a, you guessed it, flashback. Flashback, almost 1 month ago our pack was attacked. We were attacked by a group of rogues. These were no ordinary rogues. They came to our pack looking for a white shifter who had healing powers. But white wolves are extremely rare. Probably 1 in every billion, if you're lucky. Being rare and having other powers or abilities is what makes shifters so special. Rogues only want a white shifter to use it for its powers. It's not the first time they came to our pack looking for the white shifter. The first time I know of them entering our territory was when I was 9, the day my parents died. They died with the secret of who this special white shifter was. This was almost 9 years to the day. At the time, Ash was only 16 but had to take the alpha position. Surprisingly, he made a great alpha. When the rogues came back, they brought back the old memories we had all tried to forget. I was the main person who tried to forget, but this will forever be imprinted in my mind. During the more recent fight between the rogues and our pack, Ash managed to injure their leader, so they had to retreat. After they retreated, Ash found a place for us to relocate the entire pack for safety. All of this happening makes me think of my parents sacrificing themselves to keep the rogues from getting hold of the white wolf. I can't help but feel guilty about their death. After all, I saw everything from my hiding spot. I was just too shocked to react and do anything. What most people don't know is that they died protecting me. The white shifter the rogues had been after for 9 years. They came back just to get me. The reason my parents died. I could have saved them if I wasn't frozen in shock. After my parents' death, I hardly ever shift or use my healing powers unless it's completely necessary. Completely necessary hardly ever comes, so I guess I never use my powers. The bell rang and sended I ran out of the class. Chris caught up with me. He asked if I was okay. I told him I was fine, just thinking about the attacks on our pack. He gave me a concerned look and said, "I know what you're thinking, Mel, and none of this is your fault." I just brushed him off. I didn't feel like having this conversation now. Too many sad memories for one day. I can't help but wonder, if I had given myself up to the rogues, there's a chance my parents would still be alive. I wish this was my old school right now, because then I could just skip class and go to the music room to distract myself. I would forget all my worries when I was in the music room because I could sing my heart out and play instruments. I used to do this until I felt better. Music has always been my escape from the world. But teachers wouldn't mind since they knew my sappy, sad story. I was allowed to clear my head in the music room whenever I felt like it. They didn't even care if I bunked school for a whole day. I shook my head. I need to get through this day. Let's just hope it flies by in the blink of an eye. Chapter for Melody SPOV. The rest of the day dragged on. Thankfully, I made it through the first day without drawing too much attention towards myself. Cue happy dance. The bell just rang. Yay, school's over. Finally. I can go home and do nothing until I have to do my homework. Hug. Chris walked me to my locker. He leaned against the one next to mine while I put my books away. I closed my locker and we headed to the parking lot. Before I got into my car, Chris asked if he could come over. I nodded. I didn't have the energy to speak. It's been quite a long day. I got into my car and he got into his. I drove home slower than usual. Get car ride. I got home and parked my car. Chris parked his next to mine. We walked into the house. My bros and cousins were all standing in the living room. Then saw my face and all shared a confused and concerned look. I guess they knew my first day was terrible without me even saying anything. Hopefully they don't ask about it. I shake my head. Of course they are going to ask about it. After all, they are my brothers and cousins. They see Chris and all 11 of them do that weird bro hug thing. I roll my eyes and head over to the kitchen. I go to the fridge and take out a bottle of water. I open it and start drinking. They all follow me into the kitchen. After a couple of minutes of silence, Jace, my cousin, finally decides to break it. Mel, are you okay? You have that distant look in your eyes and you look like you want to burst into tears. My brothers and other cousins nod in agreement. You were thinking about the attacks again, weren't you? Asked a worried-looking Mason. I muttered a silent yes. He opened his arms and engulfed me into a big hug. He whispered in my hair, "What happened is not your fault." Then he sighed. "You need to stop thinking that it happened because of you." I just nodded in his chest. Ash and everyone else in the kitchen decided to turn our hug into a big group hug. Guys, need They broke up the group hug and said sorry. They all smiled, sheepishly. I laughed them off and said, "It's fine, you guys know I love you." Grayson, my other cousin, said let's go watch a movie. Everyone agreed and we made it up to into our home movie theater. Yes, we have a movie theater in our house, perks to having an alpha for a brother, I guess. We decided to watch a Disney movie. I love Disney movies, they're so cute. I swear we're children stuck in adults' bodies. About 10 minutes into the movie, Ashton asked Chris a question. One question I had expected him to ask. "Chris, did any guys try and talk to my little sis?" He asked this looking directly at me. It's finally time for everyone to meet my overprotective family. This question got everyone's attention. They all look at Chris waiting for an answer. "Nope," says Chris, popping the pea. I just roll my eyes. Why can't they just ask me? It's not like I'm gonna lie to them. Even if I did lie to them, they would be able to tell. I mean, we have lived together for 9 years. We can read each other like the back of our palms. After his answer, everyone turns their attention back to the movie. I know what you're wondering. They're so overprotective over her, but her best friend's a guy. Well, I grew up with Chris. HES, practically family. That's why my brothers don't mind him being my best friend. Plus, they trust him to be overprotective over me when they're not around. Why is it that I can't get away from overprotective guys? Anyone have an answer for me? After the movie, Chris decides to head home. I walk him to the door. We hug each other, then say bye. I watch him get into his car. He rolls down the window and says, "See you tomorrow, Mel," then he speeds off in the direction of his house. When I say speeds off, I actually mean it. We both love speed. And so some of my cousins are racers. They may or may not have taught us a few tricks. Chris and I are always racing each other. Fudge's probably going to get home in 5 minutes driving the way he is. I decide to be a good girl and do my homework. Me being good, this is a very rare moment. After doing my homework, Jace walks into my room. "Do you want to go for a run?" he asks with hopeful eyes. I nod in agreement. The two of us go outside and meet up with the others. We all go behind a tree, strip and shift. I feel my bones bending. I close my eyes, and when I open them, I'm a big pure white wolf. We all come out from behind a tree in wolf form. They all surround me to avoid people noticing a white wolf. This is how we run whenever I come along with them. Generally, I prefer to stay at home while they run. I might have forgotten to say that our house is in front of a forest, so it's easy to access if we need a run. The 11 of us run for an hour or so. "Let's head home, we've been out for long enough," says Ashton through our mind link. So the 11 of us head home. After the run, I took a nice long shower. After my relaxing shower, I slowly climbed into my very cozy bed. I'm mentally and physically exhausted. It's been a seriously long day. I'm glad it's over so I can sleep now. Oh bed, you have no idea how much I have missed you. I mumble in my pillow. "Someone's gone a little bit crazy," says Viola. I have no energy to reply, simply block my annoying wolf out. Then darkness consumes me and I'm in my dream world. Chapter 5, Melody SPOV. I woke up this morning to someone lightly shaking me. "Ashton." He smiled. "You slept through your alarm clock." I lazily rub my eyes and then sit up in my comfy bed. "Really, yep." He quickly walked out of my room and closed the door so I could get ready for another day of hell. I did my usual morning routine. Today's outfit consisted of a pink top with light blue ripped denim jeans. I put on a bangle and a pink bow in my hair. I added a pair of sandals to my outfit. I went downstairs. I did the same as yesterday. Grabbed something to eat, kissed my boss and cousins goodbye, and went off to school. I have very boring mornings now that I think about it. I got into my car and turned the radio on. I hummed along to the songs playing on the radio. I got to school at 800 a.m. That's a whole 20 minutes earlier than yesterday. Yeah, I am going to be here for even longer than necessary. I feel like I'm in a lose-lose situation. What am I gonna do for half an hour, I walked to my locker and got my books. From there, I decided to go sit in the library for a while. I got to the library and plugged my earphones in. I listened to music, sitting in the back of the library till 8:30. Then I got up and went to art. Luckily, this time I didn't even get lost. I'm so proud of myself. I got to the art class and sat down. Other students started filling in. A girl with brown hair and green eyes sat next to me on the right. I looked at the door waiting to see Chris come into the class. It's unusual for him to be late without telling me. The girl on my right asked me, "Are you looking for someone?" I turned to her, smiled, then answered, "Yes, I'm Kendall, looking for my best friend. My name's Melody, by the way." Then I held out my hand for her to shake. She smiled warmly. "Mine's Ava. I'm the twin sister of the Alpha of the Silver Moon Pack," she said, shaking my hand. "You're from Lakewood Pack, right?" "Yes, I'm the Alpha's little sister." She smiled kindly at me. Then our art teacher, Miss Wellington, walked into the class. She looks young, like Chess in her mid-20s or so. She said, "Good morning, class. Today I want you to draw a self-portrait." So I got to work. I took out my sketch pad and pencil, and I began my self-portrait. I'm not the biggest fan of drawing myself anyway. Ava said, "I think we're going to be good friends." I smiled at her. I had made my first new friend here. I couldn't help but wonder where Chris was. He never skipped class without telling me. And when he skips, he asks me if I wanted to. Then we skip class together. Maybe he overslept or something. Yeah, that must be it. I continued drawing. Ava and I chatted through the entire art lesson. It turns out we're quite alike. I like her, she doesn't seem like a queen bee or slut. Which is great since I associate with neither. What I hate queen bees and sluts, they think they're better than everyone and prettier too. I mean, have they looked in the mirror recently? You look like a Barbie doll with too much makeup on. Ava said Elle could sit with her at lunch because Chris was here and had nowhere to sit. I told her I would since I didn't feel like being a loner. Art, bio, and English went by quite fast, especially since I could talk to Ava in all of those classes. Turns out Chess also in all of my classes. The bell rang for break and we headed to our lockers. It turns out they were next to each other. Weird, I haven't seen her before. I asked her, "Hey, how come I didn't see you yesterday?" "I mean, our lockers are next to each other." So Ava laughed and said, "Well, I wasn't at school yesterday. My brother needed some help with the pack and I offered to help." "Oh, makes sense." We walked into the cafeteria and headed to Ava's table. There were about 6 girls at the table. They all looked friendly. "Hey guys, this is Melody, Chess in my art, bio, and English class. Chess also the little sister of the Alpha from Lakewood Pack," says Ava. "Melody, this is Haley, Camilla, Stella, Taylor, Emma, and Brooklyn," she says, pointing at each of them. We take a seat and they tell me about themselves. It turns out that most of us have classes together. They're all from the Silver Moon Pack. So I'm kinda the odd one out. After school I go home. The girls and I have planned to go shopping sometime. Let's hope that goes well since I'm not the biggest fan of going shopping in big groups. I get home, first question I get, "How was school?" asked Hunter, my one cousin. "It was good, I made some new friends, but Chris wasn't at school." I said with a frown, "That's probably because he had training today." "Which reminds me, you need to start training again," says Ash while drinking a bottled water. "Ugh, do I have to train?" He just gives me that looking, saying it's his final decision. Why do I need to train when I hardly ever get to fight? I mean, one of them is always with me. "Are these new friends girls or boys?" asks Mason. I roll my eyes. "They're all girls." See, overprotective. I went upstairs, did my homework, wrote some new songs, then got into bed. It's been one long day. Chapter 6, Melody's POV. School just finished and I'm so happy. Chris was back today. He made new friends this morning and sat with them during lunch. I didn't mind. I sat with the girls again. I have a concert rehearsal now. I'm on my way home to change now. Finally a part of my life I hardly complain about. I put on my blue wig and change into a different outfit. My outfit consisted of a denim jeans, a pale blue top with a pair of tan boots. I added a necklace, ring, watch, and sunglasses accessories. The sunglasses hide my eyes in case the paparazzi come by on my way. I went downstairs to see my boss and cousins. Then got in my black Ferrari and sped off to my concert practice. If anyone is wondering, I actually have many cars at the moment. I'm saving up for a BMW i8. I ran into the hall. I went to the dressing room to apply some makeup. For concerts, I put on winged eyeliner, mascara, lipstick and eyeshadow. I put on my own makeup and it looks decent. I dislike having other people poke my face, so yeah. I walk out of the dressing room and walk in the direction of the stage. A stage director sees me, gives me a mic and pushes me onto stage. He knows I can walk right. I told him I wanted to sing When I See You Again by Wiz Khalifa ft Charlie Puth. Before I started singing, I saw people walking around aimlessly. I know we keep this place open to the public, but if you want to see me perform, buy a concert ticket like everyone else, because these rehearsals don't always end well. Everyone is making sure things smoothly and go as planned. I start singing. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, they'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again, dang. Who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we'd been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different. See the bigger picture, those were the days. Hard work forever pays now. I see you in a better place, see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family is all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you be with me for the last ride. Then the most intoxicating scent fills my nostrils. I continue singing, but scan the crowd trying to find the owner of that scent. I turn my head in the direction I think the scent is coming from. I see a handsome guy. Scratch that. He looks like a Greek god. Hes wearing a jeans with a tight V-neck shirt. His shirt shows off his muscles and abs perfectly. I slowly look up at his face. He has an amazingly sharp jawline and great cheekbones. I shamelessly check him out while singing. Just as the song ended, our eyes meet. We both muttered one word. One word I didn't expect to hear or say. Mate. Viola screams in my mind. Go to mate. Jump into mate's arms. I block her out. My mate walks towards me. Then I realized I've seen him before. Then it hits me, Hes the Alpha of Silvermoon, the most powerful pack in the world. What do I do? What do I do? I look at him and see love in his eyes. What I'm about to do breaks my heart. I turn and ran into the dressing room. I lock the door. Probably not going to keep an alpha out, but whatever. It will buy me some time. I throw off my wig, spray myself with scent masking spray, and throw on another top. I take out a book and pretend to be. Good thing I always carry masking spray with me, and that I threw my school bag in here earlier. Next thing I know, the door is being flung open. Ben storms in, a scary-looking alpha. His jaw clenched and eyes dark. He looks like he's trying to control his wolf. He asks through clenched teeth, "Where is she?" Referring to me, or should I say Audrey Elizabeth, my stage name. I hesitantly point to the back door. He opens it and follows my direction. I jump up, get my things, then get into the car. I have never driven home as fast as I did today. I know I love speed, but I think I just broke my speed record. I'm shaking right now. In the back of my mind, Viola is whimpering. Why do you run away from mate? You made mate sad and angry. Go back and make mate feel better. I just ignored her. I tried to compose myself before going inside the house. I feel like a bomb has just exploded on me. New problem. Do I tell my brothers and cousins I found my mate? The Hes the alpha of the most powerful pack, and that I just ran away from him? Or should I keep quiet, but Hes going to find me again? Ugh, this is so frustrating. I think I'm going to have to tell them. They know when I lie and keep stuff from them. Telling them is the best option. I hesitantly grab the knob and turn it. Here goes nothing. I breathe in and out and take a huge gulp before entering my own home. Chapter 7 AOXPOV. Ever since school started on Wednesday, I haven't been going. I have been trying to catch up on my alpha duties. It's becoming too much for me to handle. I think, pacing my office. I need to find my mate. My Luna, to help me rule my pack. It's been so hard to keep up with my work that I had to ask my Win to help. You're probably thinking that can't be that bad. Right. Wrong. Chef's so annoying and never does anything right. I need distraction right now. I know Aubrey Elizabeth has a concert rehearsal today. I can go check that out. Hopefully her singing is as good as everyone says. Then again, my Win's sister is a fan of her music. Probably why I don't really like it or listen to it often. What my twin and you are total opposites. I leave the pack house and get into my white BMW i8. I love my car. You are such an idiot, mumbles my wolf. Caden. I roll my eyes. I wonder how I got stuck with such a simple wolf. Caden. My car is awesome. And means nothing if you don't find our mate. I decide to block him out. Yes, right. There'll be nothing without my mate. I shake my head and head to the hall. It was a long, silent car ride. I felt so bored. I'm so used to doing something that when I do nothing I get bored. I briskly walked into the hall. The hall looked pretty decent, I guess. It was decorated with a whole bunch of girly decorations. It looked like this, just imagine it was decorated. There's a lot of people walking around aimlessly and others are walking around shouting orders. It looks like some of them are going to burst. It makes me chuckle. I probably look like that when I dark orders. As I am walking around the hall nearing the stage, the most intoxicating scent hits me. It smells like strawberries with a hint of lavender. I see Aubrey Elizabeth singing with Khalifa Ft. Charlie Puth when I see you again. I've never noticed how beautiful she is when my sister goes on about her. I always thought that a girl with blue hair would never be my type. But damn, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever set eyes on. The blue hair actually suits her. I was checking her out and I'm pretty sure she was checking me out while singing. Our eyes locked. She had the most captivating light brown eyes. Ones I could stare into for hours and never ever get bored. She's so beautiful and all mine. Go to mate. Shouts an excited Caden in my mind. I hurriedly approach my mate with love and lust in my eyes. I visibly see her gulp in shock. Her shock soon turns into fear. Almost like she just realized who I was. Was I not good enough for her? Then she does something that breaks me completely. She runs. I'm frozen in my stop. Go after her, you fool. Mate's getting away, says an aggravated Caden. As soon as overcome over my shock, I follow her. I run into another wolf. He says, "Woo, slow down, dude, you can't come in here. It's way too close to Audrey's dressing room." I let out a threatening growl. At that very moment, Caden took control. "Listen here, dude, my mate just ran in that direction. So move out of my way," he said using alpha tone through clenched teeth, emphasizing on the word dude. The guy immediately stepped out of our way. I fought with Caden for control. I managed to convince him to give me control, telling him he might make our mate even more scared of us. Why is she so scared of us? We won't hurt her. I followed her scent till I was in front of a door. It looked like a dressing room. Suddenly her scent became extremely faint. I broke the door off of its hinges trying to get to her, to make sure she was okay. I barged into the room, to find a girl with her black hair in a messy bun. In an oversized shirt, she was pretty. She was sitting on the floor with a book in her hands. She looked like she was studying. Caden tried to take control again. She took at me tentatively with fear in her eyes. I managed to grit out, "Where is she?" I was referring to my mate. The girl hesitantly pointed to the dressing room's back door. I gave her a small nod and ran out of there trying to find my mate. The door led to a passageway. I could not find my mate's scent and she was nowhere to be seen. I sighed heavily. Caden was furious. "Go back to the dressing room, that girl lied to us." "No, KD, she didn't, we lost our mate." He howled in pain and started whimpering in the back of my mind. I slowly walked to my car. Before getting in, I said under my breath, "I will find you again, mate. Next time I won't let you get away from me, I promise." After saying that, I sped off in the direction of my pack house. I have a meeting with the Alpha whose pack recently moved into this area. HES the Alpha of Lakewood Pack, I'm pretty sure. I got home, finished some Alpha business, then got in bed with one thought on my mind. My beautiful mate. Caden. Had E in response. We don't even know our mate yet and we're already whipped. He simply chucked in response. After our little conversation, I fell into a blissful slumber. Chapter 8 Melody SPOV. I slowly walked into the house. It was strangely quiet. Then I heard whispering. Ashton. Mason, what's wrong with Melody? Your eyes just shifted turquoise. Asked a concerned Jace. Melody, you can come into the living room. We know you're standing there. Says a worried Mason. Ash and Mason see me and engulf me in a hug. We were so worried we felt you feeling panicked and distressed, said Ash, with Mason nodding. You see, my brothers and I share a very unique sibling bond. When one of us are in danger or has a certain emotion flowing through us, the other can feel it. That's not all. When it happens, our eyes shift a certain color. When they feel I'm in danger or my emotions, their eyes turn turquoise. For Ash, Mason and mine's eyes turn dark blue. For Mason, Ashton and mine's eyes turn emerald green. I close my eyes. I ran away from my mate, who happens to be the alpha of the Silver Moon pack. I hear no response, so I open my eyes to find all of them with shocked expression and their mouths wide open. I sigh. Let me start from the beginning. After I tell them about what happened, they all burst out laughing. I can't believe you ran and hid, says Grayson while rolling of the floor from laughing. Why is he laughing? It's not funny. Mel, so you're telling me you ran from your alpha mate? Asks a now serious Mason. I nod. Well, then we have a problem, mutters Jace. I turn to look at him confused. Ash answer my confused face. Alpha Alec of Silvermoon is coming over tomorrow. Mel, he says it slowly, and it slowly sinks in. I put my hands over my face. What now? HES going to be so confused tomorrow if he finds out I'm his mate. He already thinks Aubrey Elizabeth is his mate. Why is my life so complicated? Who says he needs to find out? Replies Grayson nonchalantly with a sly smile. I know the face. Grayson, what are you thinking about? Asks a scared-looking Hunter. Mel can spray herself with scent masking spray and try and stay out of the house. I mean, duh. It's not that hard. One problem, Grayson. I live here. Don't get your panties in a twist, Mel. You can go out tomorrow with your new friends. Another prob. What now? His twin sister is one of my new friends, I say, looking down. They all look at me with open mouths. Viola says, tell them to close their mouths before they catch flies. I block her out. You definitely I have a prob, little sis, says Ash, hugging my shoulders. I'm pretty sure my smart little sister will come up with a great plan. Just make sure he ends up finding out you're his mate. Remember, he could die if he was without his mate for too long. It would be a slow and painful death. I brush Ashton's arm off from around my shoulder. You're not helping, Ash. I shout angrily and stomp upstairs. I bang my room door close and plunk myself onto my bed. I take a pillow and scream my lungs out onto it for a solid 5 minutes. I know I'll just have to spray myself with masking spray for the whole of tomorrow. And instead of being inside the house, I will be outside. I can use me to practice my dance as an excuse. If I'm desperate, I'll even go train. I shudder at the thought. Who knew running from an alpha would be this hard? You shouldn't have ran. You made Alex sad and confused, mumbles and irritated Viola. It's too late now, Viola. I want to tell him I'm his mate, but we'll just end up confusing him more. He thinks Aubrey Elizabeth is his mate, I say, using hand quotations for Aubrey Elizabeth. I sigh loudly. He doesn't know I live a double life. I never knew that living a normal and famous life would come back to bite me in the ass. I actually thought it would make my life a little easier, but no, it made it harder. Ugh. I just shake my head. I decide to get a nice warm shower to rinse my problems away for a while. Half an hour later, I step out of the shower. I wish I could wash my problems away permanently. I walked into my walk-in closet and grab a pair of pajamas. I brush my hair, then let out a yawn. I get into bed with my Greek god of a mate, Alec, on my mind. Before I close my eyes, I thought of a foolproof plan. Well, not exactly foolproof, but it will probably work. I guess you'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out what it is. Chapter 9 Lex POV. I woke up from a restless sleep. All I could think about last night was my beautiful mate. Her blue hair and how perfect she looks. I need to find her. Just the most beautiful girl I've ever set eyes on. That's a lot coming from me since girls usually threw themselves at me. I've never had a girl run from me. I fall out of bed, tangled in the sheets. Face first. My face makes contact with the floor and I hear a loud thud. I try to untangle myself only to trip over myself. I finally managed to untangle myself and go take a shower. I took a short shower. I need to meet Lakewood Pax Alpha today. Joys of being an alpha. Note the sarcasm, yay. I'm only going to this meeting to make sure we have a treaty. After showering, I got dressed into something decent. A black jeans and tight white shirt and my black leather jacket. I slit my hair a couple of times, just to make it look good. I got it into my white BMW. I ate and drive off to meet Alpha Ashton. During the car ride, I realized I have no idea where he lives. I mind-linked Matt, my beta. Matt, where does Alpha Ashton stay? I need to know because I'm heading there now. Matt gives me the directions and I arrived in front of a mansion. It's almost as nice as mine. Mine's just bigger since most pack members live there. I doubt this house can fit his entire pack. I get out of my car and walk over to the front door. I knock on the door and it is opened by a wolf. Can I help you? He asks. I'm Alpha Alec and I'm here for my meeting with Alpha Ashton. I seriously with a straight face. You'll tell Ashton you have arrived. He showed me to the living room where I was asked to take a seat. I waited for the wolf to bring his alpha to me. Ashton's POV, someone knocked on my office door. I told them to come in. In walked Jace. Ash, the alpha of Silvermoon, is waiting for you in the living room. I nodded and he walked out. I soon followed. If I don't like this guy, then there's no way I'm letting him near Mel. What she's my little sister, and if Mason I don't think is good enough and is not. She's all the family we have left other than our cousins. If you look at it like that, you'll understand why we're so overprotective over her. Mason. Alec has arrived. Meet me in the living room. I mind-linked Mason. I walked out of my office. Mason stood outside the living room. I nodded at him and we entered. Alpha Alec stood up quickly and extended his hand to me. Alpha Ashton, I presume. Yes, Alpha Alec. I say, shaking his hand. He doesn't seem that bad. This is my younger brother and Beta Mason. I say, pointing to Mason. They shake each other's hands. Then I hear Mel walking down the stairs. Melody, where are you going? I ask, my overprotective side kicking in. I'm going to the backyard to practice my dancing. She says, entering the room. I notice her scent is different. She must be wearing masking spray. I feel like laughing right now. If I were her, I would have just told Alec everything, taking all that stress off my shoulders. Mason says it's okay. She hugs us and walks out. Who's that? Asked a curious Alec, receiving a glare from Mason. Protective side showing. She's our little sister, he replies. Alec nods slowly and I clap my hands together and say, let's get to work, shall we? Alec nods. As we are walking to my office, he asks, is Mason joining us for the meeting? Yes. We get into my office and begin our discussion. Alexia Ovi. Alpha Ashton entered with someone walking behind him. They look quite alike. No doth Air Brothers, says Katie, rolling his eyes. Does anyone agree that I have the nicest wolf? I stick my hand out to Ashton. He shakes it and introduces himself and his brother and Beta. Mason. We spoke for a while, then Ashton calls a pretty girl. She comes and tells them where she is going. She's not pretty, scratch that she's beautiful. I ask them who she is, which got a glare from Mason. They replied that she's their little sister. They're probably overprotective big brothers. I kinda understand that. I'm older than Ava by a couple of minutes and am just as overprotective over her. I nodded and we headed to Ashton's office. While walking there, I had their sister on my mind. I think they said her name was Melody. Yeah, that's it. We got into his office and started talking about Alpha business. The story of my life, Alpha business. I shake my head. Chapter 10, Melody SPOV. I got out of bed groaning. My head hurts and so does my body. I feel like I didn't even get any sleep. That's what happens when you run away from mate. Hafsa annoyed Viola. It's way too early to listen to you, Viola. I block her out. Today Alec comes over. I get out of bed and go to the shower. I took a quick shower. Wrapping my towel tightly around myself, I went over to my closet. I need clothes that's easy to move around in today. I tapped my chin thinking of something to wear. I eventually found something. Today's outfit consists of red tights with a white top that had a black heart on it. I paired it up with a pair of wedge heels. My hair was messy, so I threw it in a messy bun. I sprayed myself with scent masking spray before going downstairs. I tried to get to the backyard without being noticed, but no such luck. "Melody, where are you going?" calls Ash from the living room. "I'm going to the backyard to practice my dancing," I say, walking into the living room, lifting my shoulders nonchalantly. I notice my mate staring tentatively at me. Let me say he looked extremely gorgeous in black and white. He was wearing a white shirt with black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked damn good. His hair was messy, but I could run my fingers through it all day. "Stop, Mel," I think to myself. I quickly walk out of the living room into the backyard. Once I'm outside, I mutter, "Mel, you can't think like that. He may be your mate, but to him you're not his. He doesn't know about you yet, so stop drooling over him," I tell myself sternly. I hear someone chuckle from behind me. "Talking to yourself again, Mel?" asked a smirking Liam. Liam's one of my 8 cousins I live with. I blush bright crimson. "No," I utter. "You sure sees E," he says, crossing his arms playfully. "Go away, Liam, I need to practice my dancing," I say, shooing him away. I danced for about 1 whole hour, then started getting bored. Grace came outside and asked if I wanted to play the piano while he plays his guitar. I agreed. I had nothing else to do. And also I doubt my brothers will let me leave the house. We went inside into a room we have filled with instruments. I told him to wait a second so that I could apply some masking spray. I quickly ran upstairs and sprayed myself again. I need some extra precautions in case. I came back and we played a song we wrote years ago when we were younger. After the song, we both burst out laughing. I felt eyes staring holes in my back and turned around, only to meet those beautiful brown eyes I have fallen in love with over the space of 1 day. Alec looked at me as if trying to figure me out. I just sent him a friendly smile. Jason, Dylan, another one of my cousins, came into the music room. Dylan said, "Come on, Mel, we're going bowling," smiling brightly. Okay, I got up and walked past Alec. OMG, I nearly brushed his shoulder while walking past him. If I had, he would have figured out I was his mate and I would have had to explain everything. Because he would have felt the sparks. Thank the moon goddess I didn't touch his arm. "Dylan." Jason and I got into Dylan's car. Dylan rides a blue Mercedes-Benz a 45 AMG Sport. Throughout the entire drive, Jace and Dylan had been trying to sing along to SIA Chandelier. Let me tell you that my cousins have terrible vocals. It sounded like cats and dogs dying a long and painful death. I have every right to say that after all, they are my cousins and I am a successful singer, so. When the song ended, I switched off the radio station. I sighed. Thank goodness that's over. You know I live with you, but you two can't sing to save your lives. Leave that to me, I say, smiling innocently. They laughed. "Glad to know you can still crack a joke after seeing your mate that you're avoiding today," says Jace with soft smile. My smile instantly fades. My stomach does multiple backflips. Jace sees my expression and its face shows concern. "Too soon, Mel?" he asks worriedly. I nod. "It's okay, Jace. If he was a werewolf, he wouldn't have heard me." We arrived at the bowling alley. Whoever gets to the entrance last is a rotten egg. I shin of the front door. Dylan and Jace come shortly after I did. They glared at me and said, "Really, Mel?" in unison. I just smiled, innocently rocking from one foot to another. We went inside and played a few rounds before going home. The car ride home was silent. I fell asleep in the car on the way home. Dylan picked me up bridal style and tucked me in bed. I slept in the clothes I wore today. I was way too tired to care. Just before going off into dreamland, I thought I need to find a way to tell Alec and his mate. Then the darkness took over. I was in dreamland. Chapter 11 Melody SPOV. Sunday went by the blink of an eye. Literally, I woke up on Monday feeling groggy. I scratched my eyes. I did my normal morning routine. My Monday outfit consisted of blue jeans, a sleeveless pink floral top, and a cream shirt to wear over the floral one. I added flower earrings and a flower ring. I grabbed a bag that matched my top and cream pumps. I added pale pink lipstick at myself in the mirror, then skipped downstairs and headed straight to the kitchen. I walked into the kitchen humming. I got out the milk and made myself some tea. All 10 of the guys in the kitchen stared at me shocked. I tilted my head in confusion. "You're humming in the morning and don't look as grumpy as us, Al," said Austin slowly, like he was choosing his words carefully. "Who are you and what have you done with my little sister?" said Ash in a mocking tone. "Ya," added Mason. I rolled my eyes at them. "Just causin' in a good mood this morning means nothing. You're in a good mood 'cause you're seeing your mate today," says a smirking Liam. Right now I'd love to wipe that smirk off his face. I blushed slightly. Ash and Mason have just turned into my overprotective brothers thanks to Liam. Nope, scratch that, the 9 other guys in the room have just turned on their overprotective mode. I drank the tea I had made during the conversation with my family, grabbed an apple and drove to school. When I arrived at school I saw a white BMW i8. I recognized the car because it's what I want for my birthday. I smelled my mate and was happy I remembered to spray myself with masking spray. I headed straight to my locker. Ava was by her locker. "Hey Eva." Mel says, a tired-looking Ava. "Ava, are you okay? You look like you're gonna pass out." "I'm fine, just a little tired," she replies, biting her bottom lip. "She's lying." "Come on, Ava, tell me the truth." Fine," she stutters. "I found my mate this weekend and he rejected me to be with a slut," she says venomously while closing her eyes. "You what?" "And he did what?" asks as furious-looking Alec through clenched teeth. Then Ava runs. He tries to grab her arm but she's too fast. She runs straight into the girls' bathroom, ignoring our calls. "They'll get her out of the bathroom, you wait." He right, tell her twin brother. Alec softly. "Aka my mate." Before he could reply, I was into the girls' room. There was only one stall that had a locked door. I knocked softly on it. "Ava, let me in, please." I hear her sobbing loudly. "Ava, let me in or I will break the door down. But I'm a werewolf, I have super strength." She slowly opens the door. She falls in my arms from crying. I hug her and whisper sweet nothing in her ear until she calmed down a little. I take her outside to talk to her brother. He was standing leaning against my locker waiting for her. "Ava, tell your brother what happened and don't make up some excuse to why you're not in class, okay?" Ava nods her head and pull me in for a hug. I hug her back. "Everything's gonna be alright," I say, squeezing her arm and sending her a reassuring smile. Then I walk off to class, leaving Alec and Ava to talk. Alex POV. I get to school at about 8:15 am. I park my car and to the spot where I meet my 2 best friends every morning. My best friends are Matt and Eric. Matt is my beta and Eric is my third in command. I get to them and we do hug each other. We chat for a while, then I leave because I need to talk to Ava. I go to A's locker and I hear her tell her friend, who looks like Ashton's sister, "I found my mate this weekend and he rejected me to be with a slut," says Ava with a lot of venom. "You what?" I say, hurt that my win didn't tell me this. "And he did what?" I ask curiously through gritted teeth. "How dare that asshole reject my sister? For some slut. If I get hold of him, he will be 6 feet under in a matter of seconds." Ava turns around and sees me. She runs in the direction of the girls' bathroom. I try to stop her by grabbing her arm but fail. She's fast. Me and her friend, Melody, I think her name, calls Ava but she ignores us. "They'll get her out of the bathroom, you wait here," says the soft voice of Melody. She doesn't give me a chance to reply. Before I know it, she's in the bathroom as well. They come out almost 10 minutes later and I'm leaning against a locker, with Melody giving Ava a side hug, which looks like it's the only thing keeping Ava upright. They walked till they are in front of me. "Ava, tell your brother what happened and he'll make up some excuse to why you're not in class, okay?" Ava nods her head and hugs Melody, who returns the hug. I wait patiently for them to finish. Melody's a good friend helping my sister. I should probably thank her for getting Ava out of the bathroom later. Everything's gonna be alright. He didn't deserve you, says Melody after their hug, squeezing her arm. Melody gives Ava a warm smile before heading over to her class. I stare at my twin waiting for an explanation, tapping my foot on the floor. This better be good. I can guarantee that someone will die today. I'm out for blood. Whoever you are that broke my sister's heart, you'll die if I ever see you. Chapter 12, Alex POV. At this current moment, I want to rip that asshole apart. Limb from limb. You have no idea how much I would enjoy that. I know it sounds dark. Ava told me everything. I was on the verge of shifting and going after him to end his life. He's so lucky I have this much self-control. The lowlife who rejected my sis is no other than Alex, the school's quarterback. HES quite popular. Not nearly as popular as me and my friends threw. He's the beta of a pack that goes to our school. I boxed the locker I was standing next to, breaking the door off. Ava gasped. Alec, that's my locker. I rolled my eyes and calmly say, I'm taking you home. With that I drag her to my car. We get outside and I shove her gently into the car. The car ride home was silent, and Ava didn't attempt to make any conversation. I was glad because I needed time to think. Ava's POV after Melody left to go to class. I stood there staring at my brother for a while, wondering how I should break the news to him. Alec became impatient. I'm waiting, Ava, he says, tapping his foot. I sigh heavily. It's now or never. Flashback: yesterday I went to Starbucks and smelled this amazing scent. My wolf went mad knowing it's our mate. I looked around for him only to find my mate, Alex, kissing the school slut in front of me. I knew he sensed me, but that didn't stop him. I saw them and gasped. He stopped kissing her and said, I hope you didn't think it changed for you, he said, sorry. I just stared at him with tears in my eyes. He sighed and said, I, Alex Green, reject to Ava Silvermoon as my mate and future bait, a female of Half Moon Pack. He said all of this nonchalantly, like it didn't affect him at all. I ran out of Starbucks and into my car. Before leaving, I turned to face him and said, I accept your rejection. That whipped the smirk right off his face. I knew he wasn't expecting it. If he thinks he can hurt me and I can take, she is sadly mistaken. I calmed myself down and slowly drove home. When I got home, I raced off to my room. I avoided anyone who saw me. End of flashback. Ava, I'm so sorry, says Alec, hugging me. It's okay, it's not your fault. Plus, it's all over now. I say, brushing him off. When I see that asshole, you will sow nothing. You'll get a second chance, mate, and well, forget all about him, okay? I ask, cutting him off. I stated it with no room for argument. He nodded. If you weren't my sister, I would use alpha tone on you. Too bad it doesn't do anything since I'm your twin. I say, sticking my tongue out, immature lie. What I actually am younger, so I'm kinda meant to be the immature one of the two of us. We get into his car and go home. I hope my second chance mate turns out better than the first. Oh moon goddess, please give me a kind-hearted second chance mate. One who won't reject me for a slut. Melody SPOV. I skipped first period since it was basically over. But there was only 5 minutes left. And I didn't want a detention. If I get detention, I'll never hear the end of it from my brothers. Ava didn't turn up after that. I suspected she went home. I hope she's doing okay. I mean, when your mate rejects you, you feel like a part of you dies. It must feel terrible. I think while walking into the cafeteria. What will I tell the girls? That she went home because she was feeling ill. I need to think of something, and fast. I see the girls and sit at our new table. Where's Ava? Asks Brooklyn. I shrug. She wasn't in class for any of the classes I had with her. Must be sick or something. They all just nod. I, in relief. I know I just lied to them, but it's secret to tell. It's Ava's choice whether she wants them to know or not. It's not my decision to make. I'm just glad she could confide in me. Just then I got a text from Ava. Hey, thanks for giving me a shoulder to cry on this morning. I really appreciate it. PLZ, don't tell the others. I want to be the one to tell them. You're the best, Mel. Key. Thanks for making me talk to my bro, it helped, I replied with. Hey, it's no prob, Ava. I'm really glad I could help. I hope you feel better and come to Shang. Remember that guy is not worth her tears. You'll get a better second chance, mate, don't worry. I would never tell the girls why not Ash. It's her secret to tell. I'm glad you and Durbro spoke. Call me if you ever need anyone to talk to or a shoulder to cry on. I'm always here. I sent the text. School dragged on. I have so much homework, not to mention I have a concert to prepare for. The concert is on Friday. I hope Halleck will be there so I can tell him and his mate. Now all I need to do is think of a good way to tell him the truth. Yeah, this just makes more work for me. Great.